Welcome to this video on early humans and the beginning of civilization, covering Chapter 4 of the Class 9 CBSE curriculum. This video explores the remarkable leaps made by humanity, looking at our biological evolution, our expansion across the globe, and the technological advancements that drove early civilization. Human history follows the quote 99% rule. For 99% of our history, spanning 3 million years, we rely on artifacts like tools and bones. Only in the last 5,000 years, the era of literature, do we have written documents to provide precise historical details. We mark the boundary of recorded history with the emergence of writing. While systems like Sumerian cuneiform and Brahmi script have been deciphered, others, like the script of the Sindhu-Sarasvati civilization, remain a persistent mystery. This chart maps the hominin lineage, from Homo habilis to Homo sapiens. Over millions of years, these ancestors made a cognitive leap by creating and using stone tools as extensions of their own bodies. Humans achieved a geographical leap through two major migration waves. Homo erectus first moved out of Africa nearly 2 million years ago, followed by the migration of Homo sapiens roughly 125,000 years ago, leading to the global presence we see today. In the Indian subcontinent, sites like Atirampakam and Isampur provide deep-time evidence of early human settlement, dating back over 1 million years, characterized by simple stone tools used in hunting-gathering lifestyles. Human history is built upon layers of technological progress. From the Paleolithic Stone Age, through the Mesolithic and Neolithic revolutions, and later the Bronze and Iron Ages, each era brought new innovations that shaped human society. Our tools evolved from simple force to high precision. Early hand axes used for heavy chopping were eventually replaced by refined scrapers, borers, and eventually projectile technologies like the bow and arrow. The invention of the microlith marked a major step in engineering. By combining tiny stone blades with handles made of wood or bone, early humans created composite tools that provided greater leverage and efficiency. Around 12,000 years ago, a warming climate triggered the Mesolithic turning point. Environmental changes led to greater resource abundance, enabling technological adaptation, stable settlements, and rapid population growth. As survival became more secure, symbolic culture flourished. Sites like Bhimbetka showcase incredible rock paintings, while archaeological finds confirm that early humans began using natural pigments and personal adornments like beads. The Neolithic transition to farming was a true revolution. The ability to produce a food surplus freed portions of the population to focus on other tasks, laying the essential groundwork for towns and early civilizations. Ultimately, early civilization resulted from the combined momentum of biological evolution, geographical migration, technological innovation, and cultural synthesis, creating an accelerating path toward the complex societies of the past. Welcome to this video on the equation of early civilization. We will explore how agriculture, technology, and trade catalyzed the journey from nomadic hunter-gatherers to the great Bronze Age metropolises of the Indus and Tigris River valleys. As ancient humans mastered seasonal cycles and food resources, they initiated the Neolithic Revolution. This shift led to the domestication of plants and animals, requiring new tools for food production and settling in permanent villages. The transition to agriculture was a global phenomenon that occurred at different times across various regions. Despite these variations, the sequence of development remained consistent: cultivation, followed by sedentary life, and finally, the creation of pottery. Mehrgarh, in present-day Pakistan, established an early agricultural template by 7000 BCE. By 4000 BCE, the mastery of copper extraction transitioned the region into the Chalcolithic Age, laying the foundation for the Sindhu-Sarasvati civilization. Geographical proximity to water and the early use of copper allowed these communities to scale rapidly. This newfound prosperity fueled large-scale craft production, leading to distinct regional styles by 2600 BCE. Several factors drove the urban leap, including advancements in agriculture, such as double cropping, and the construction of perimeter defenses. Economically and culturally, mass production of crafts and the emergence of early administration paved the way for city life. Harappan civilization relied on a standardized system of weights and measurements. Their meticulous binary scaling system was essential for maintaining long-distance economic networks, which supported their vast, planned settlements. In West Asia, the Fertile Crescent hosted its own city-states. Access to runoff from the Zagros and Taurus foothills supported high agricultural output, while the introduction of copper accelerated urban development and facilitated trade with the Harappan world. When we compare the Sindhu-Sarasvati and Mesopotamian civilizations, we see they both relied on river systems to drive their development. Notably, Mesopotamia shows clear archaeological evidence of direct trade and contact with the Harappan world. A timeline comparison reveals that both civilizations reached high urban maturity within a nearly identical historical window, marking a significant era of advancement for human society. Ultimately, history is a chain reaction of compounding complexity. The simple act of planting a seed created a systemic loop that inevitably engineered the ancient metropolis, transforming human existence forever. Welcome to this video on the foundations of civilization. We will explore how early societies in Mesopotamia and Egypt navigated the fundamental challenges of human settlement, including water management, administration, belief systems, and social order between 3500 and 1000 BCE. Around 3500 BCE, humanity transitioned from nomadic survival to city-based civilizations. This profound shift occurred in two distinct environments: the unpredictable floodplains of Mesopotamia and the rhythmic, isolated sanctuary of the Nile Valley. Mesopotamia saw the rise and fall of several major powers, starting with the Sumerians and their city-states, followed by the Akkadian Empire, the expanding Assyrians, and the Babylonians, who formalized key civil and social rules. The ziggurat served as the engine of the Mesopotamian city. It was a multi-layered structure that integrated sacred spaces for the gods, administrative hubs for governance, and economic zones for storage and trade, ensuring both spiritual and physical stability. Writing in Mesopotamia was developed around 3300 BCE. Scribes used a wedge-shaped stylus to press marks into soft clay, creating cuneiform. These tablets functioned as the spreadsheets of antiquity, recording agricultural data, trade, and literature. In 1792 BCE, Hammurabi established a foundational legal system to standardize conduct. However, by 1400 BCE, civilization faced collapse due to emerging rival technologies, severe environmental degradation, and mounting internal political and economic pressures. The Nile River provided a predictable life cycle for Egypt, marked by inundation, growth, and harvest. This reliance on the river's cycle necessitated collective effort in digging ditches and dams, which birthed the earliest administrative classes around 3000 BCE. Engineering for the afterlife was central to Egyptian culture. From deep burials to mastabas and eventually monumental pyramids, these structures protected the physical body. Combined with mummification, these practices supported the belief in the Ka, or spiritual double. Egyptian society was structured like a pyramid, with the pharaoh at the apex. Beneath were government officials, priests, and nobles who managed logistics, followed by free landholders and artisans, with serfs and slaves providing the labor for monumental projects. Egyptians developed papyrus as a versatile writing material. This archival technology allowed for the preservation of extensive medical knowledge, such as the papyrus Ebers, and literature that influenced storytelling for generations to come. The Rosetta Stone, discovered in 1799, became the key to unlocking Egyptian history. Because it featured the same text in Greek, Demotic, and hieroglyphs, it allowed Jean-François Champollion to decipher the sacred script in 1822. Life in Egypt included vibrant leisure activities and unique social customs. Notably, Egyptian women held more rights than in many contemporary societies, including the ability to own property, run businesses, and, in some cases, rise to the highest levels of power. When we compare Mesopotamia and Egypt, we see two different paths to civilization. One was defined by volatility and change in a harsh environment, while the other thrived through the stability of the Nile, leading to distinct approaches in governance, records, and monumental architecture. Despite their differences, these ancient empires were connected through extensive trade networks. Akkadian records detail how they exchanged goods like ivory, timber, and gold with distant regions, demonstrating that Bronze Age globalization was already well underway. Across the ancient world, mastering water was essential. Whether through the canals of Mesopotamia, the catchment basins of Egypt, or the sophisticated stone reservoirs and dockyards of the Harappan civilization, these early societies fundamentally transformed their landscapes to thrive. Welcome to this video on the origins of the Middle Kingdom. We will take a visual journey through the history of ancient China, exploring its transformation from early Neolithic roots to the dawn of the Bronze Age. By 7000 BCE, Neolithic cultures flourished along the Huanghe and Yangtze rivers. By 2000 BCE, the introduction of bronze metallurgy in the Yellow River Basin marked the Bronze Age threshold, paving the way for agricultural expansion and the first urban centers. This timeline outlines key dynastic milestones, from the Shang dynasty's mastery of bronze to the Han dynasty's establishment of the Silk Route. Each era contributed significantly to the formation of China. The Mandate of Heaven was a powerful political and religious concept. It held that a ruler's right to govern was conditional upon their ability to maintain prosperity for the people. If the people suffered, the mandate was considered broken. By 1500 BCE, a highly stratified social hierarchy had emerged. Notably, China also pioneered the first public examination system, testing candidates on skills like archery, horsemanship, and writing to staff its civil services. Oracle bones offer a unique window into this period. Inscriptions were carved onto bone or shell, which were then heated. The resulting cracks were interpreted to predict the future, leaving us with invaluable records of early Chinese history. The Chinese logographic script functions differently than phonetic alphabets. Characters represent entire words or concepts directly, connecting shapes to ideas rather than just speech sounds, as seen in the composition of characters for resting. Ancient artisans showed incredible mastery over diverse materials. Jade was prized for prestige and rituals. Bronze served as the foundation for power and tools, while marble was utilized for architectural ornamentation. The Great Wall stands as a monumental achievement in consolidation. It began as separate defenses against nomadic raids around 680 BCE and was gradually combined over 2 millennia into a unified defensive system. Economic life also evolved significantly. The famous Silk Route connected China to the world, while currency progressed from early barter systems to metal coinage and eventually the world's first paper money. Humanity progressed through distinct eras, from the stone tools of the Paleolithic period to the urban centers and complex social organizations of the Bronze Age, as revealed through archaeological evidence. In summary, the advancements of ancient China were part of a global Bronze Age blueprint. Harnessing fertile river valleys led to surpluses, urbanization, and administrative growth, shaping the modern foundations of civilization. Welcome to this video on the origins of the Middle Kingdom. We will take a visual journey through the history of ancient China, exploring its transformation from early Neolithic roots to the dawn of the Bronze Age. By 7000 BCE, Neolithic cultures flourished along the Huanghe and Yangtze rivers. By 2000 BCE, the introduction of bronze metallurgy in the Yellow River Basin marked the Bronze Age threshold, paving the way for agricultural expansion and the first urban centers. This timeline outlines key dynastic milestones, from the Shang dynasty's mastery of bronze to the Han dynasty's establishment of the Silk Route. Each era contributed significantly to the formation of China. The Mandate of Heaven was a powerful political and religious concept. It held that a ruler's right to govern was conditional upon their ability to maintain prosperity for the people. If the people suffered, the mandate was considered broken. By 1500 BCE, a highly stratified social hierarchy had emerged. Notably, China also pioneered the first public examination system, testing candidates on skills like archery, horsemanship, and writing to staff its civil services. Oracle bones offer a unique window into this period. Inscriptions were carved onto bone or shell, which were then heated. The resulting cracks were interpreted to predict the future, leaving us with invaluable records of early Chinese history. The Chinese logographic script functions differently than phonetic alphabets. Characters represent entire words or concepts directly, connecting shapes to ideas rather than just speech sounds, as seen in the composition of characters for resting. Ancient artisans showed incredible mastery over diverse materials. Jade was prized for prestige and rituals. Bronze served as the foundation for power and tools, while marble was utilized for architectural ornamentation. The Great Wall stands as a monumental achievement in consolidation. It began as separate defenses against nomadic raids around 680 BCE and was gradually combined over 2 millennia into a unified defensive system. Economic life also evolved significantly. The famous Silk Route connected China to the world, while currency progressed from early barter systems to metal coinage and eventually the world's first paper money. Humanity progressed through distinct eras, from the stone tools of the Paleolithic period to the urban centers and complex social organizations of the Bronze Age, as revealed through archaeological evidence. In summary, the advancements of ancient China were part of a global Bronze Age blueprint. Harnessing fertile river valleys led to surpluses, urbanization, and administrative growth, shaping the modern foundations of civilization.